All right, so now I'm going to show you some more advanced clay enrichments that you can use. To set the stage, what I've done up to this point is I scraped a list of companies. I found their websites. I then used Clay to enrich the companies with all of this information, and I also used Clay to find multiple points of contact. I then wrote those new contacts to this new table where I've got each contact on their own row. And now I'm at the point where I want to start actually finding their contact information. And so, first, super simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to find their email using Clay's find a work email. So I've got their full name, uh, contact name. There we go. I got the company domain. I'm going to run this and let's see what I can find. And what you'll start to see is awesome. I found emails for a ton of these contacts. I did not find emails for three of them. So this brings me to the idea of waterfalling integrations. And the idea here is if an integration did not work, we want to push them through another integration. If the integration did work, we want them to stop. So in this case, there were three people who we were not able to find their work email with. So what we want to do is, okay, let's try them with another email provider. And let's say we're going to use zero bounce. Another, I guess, sub-tutorial I wanted to show off here is now we're on an integration that requires first name, last name, company domain. We don't have first name, last name. And to get this integration to run, we need to get the data in a place where we can use it. So what we can do is we can create a new column, and we've got their full name here, right? So we should be able to just separate this information, and we can totally do that if we use the AI formula generator. I think this is an awesome use case. And what we're saying is essentially just pull out just the first word from their full name, right? Generate the formula. Let's check. First name looks correct. First name looks correct. First name looks correct. First name looks correct. There we go. Output is correct. Save it. And now we've been able to extremely fast generate the first name using the AI formula generator. I'm going to do it one more time to show you all with last name because we do need that. Settings, AI formula generator. And you can write this other way. So I'm going to write this differently to show you it still works. Select just the last word from contact name. Here we go. Let's check it. Nice. This is the output, right? And we're checking it against the contact name. Nice, nice, nice. Looks correct. Output is correct, save formula. And now we've mapped the last name. So now we've done what we needed to do to run that integration. And so what we want to do is first, I'm going to set up the find email integration and just put in that information that I just created. I've got first name, last name, and company domain. And now what we want to do is if we go to run settings, again, we only want this to run if our first integration did not run, because we don't want to just be reusing credits for every single integration that we're running if the contact information is already found. And so we're going to go to the AI formula generator and we're going to say if, and when you click slash, you can select the different columns. We're going to say if this find email property, this find email object is null, run the column. If it is not null, do not run. When we click generate formula, we'll get an example, right? The email was found, so it does not run. Email was not found, so it does run. Awesome. Output is correct. Save changes, and let's run this whole row. And what you'll see happen, pretty cool, it is only going to run where the contact information was not found. If it was found, it will say run conditions not met. But what we're going to see pop up right here is that even zero bounce, unfortunately, was not able to find their emails. And I'd say this is common sometimes, especially when you have larger lists. The integrations aren't going to work for everyone. And so again, what we want to do is waterfall this data. This time, I'm going to use People Data Labs because if we can't find their email, maybe we can find social URL or a phone number that we can then use. And so what I'm going to do is input this information. Again, we don't have the email. We do have their social, we do have their LinkedIn URLs, which is going to be helpful. We've got their name, company name. All right. And again, we only want to run this if the previous integration did not work. And so there's 3 steps now, right? There's Clay email. Did it work? If not, run zero bounce. Did it work? If not, run people data labs. So we're going to go into AI formula generator, and I'm going to say this time, if, I'm going to say only run if, and I'm going to go to that zero bounce. I'm going to say only run if the zero bounce email or the Clay email so what you're going to see happen is perfectly only run through these 3 rows. The reason it is important to include both of those values is because, say I said only run if zero bounce was no. The issue is that we didn't run zero bounce for majority of those rows. And for that reason, it's going to say, it's going to just look that it did not run, and it's going to say, okay, well, it was null for all these rows, so we should run it. But that's not the case, which is why we included both the Clay and zero bounds. We're going to generate that formula, output is correct, save formula, save changes, and now let's run the whole row. Okay, and there we go. We've got some profiles for these contacts. This one was able to find some emails. They look to be personal emails. Let's see what else we were able to find. Locations, experience, phone numbers. Awesome. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, if I was not able to find their work email, I want to reach out to them via phone. But I don't want to have a ton of different columns for their Clay email and their zero bounce email and their phone number. So instead, I want to have one column that includes whatever the final piece of contact information includes, right? And so I'm going to, again, use the AI formula generator. And I'm going to say, if the Clay email, right? If Clay email is not null, that's the value. Now I'm going to say if the zero bounce email is not null, that's the value. Okay. And now finally, and I want to use their phone number actually. If phone number is not null, that's the value. Generate the formula and let's see what happens. Cool. So we can see this is the Clay email. For everywhere that the Clay email exists, the value is the Clay email. For everywhere where the zero bounce email exists, which is nowhere, that's the value. And then for everywhere where the phone number exists, that's the value. And we've essentially established top priority is finding their email. Second priority is finding their email via zero bounce. And third priority is finding their phone number. And now we can say output is correct, save formula. And this is actually just going to be final contact. There we go. Now we have essentially been able to run multiple different integrations and waterfall these to conserve credits and come up with one final contact box. Yeah, hope this tutorial was helpful. Continue watching the ones below and I'll show you how you can do some other really cool things with some more advanced Clay enrichments.